Hey everybody, welcome to the Nexus Ag Update, the most awaited podcast of the year, probably the most questioned podcast I get answers about is here.
I think this is everybody's favorite podcast of the year.
The Fantasy Crop Challenge is back.
Year 4 hasn't jumped the shark yet.
FPD3, whatever, I don't know what it's called, but Fantasy Podcast picks
Sure.
with whatever. You want to run down kind of what we do, Chad? Or?
Well, maybe we should show everybody or tell everybody who's here.
They're not important.
They're not important. We have our two-time and defending champion to my right, Spencer.
Yep. So I'm the sales agronomist out of Adams.
Really get up there, Spencer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can move it.
You can move it.
Move that thing. It's on an arm.
There you go. Sounds better.
There we go.
So I'm the sales agronomist out of Adams. I've been there, over 9 years now. So starting to get to be one of the old guys in the crowd.
Tell me
the wily vets.
Tell me about it.
But no, as you...
Chad's been that for years.
I don't got the gray yet like Chad, though. So
it'll come.
I'm hoping I get another 10 years before that happens.
Well, that starts happening when you start having kids, especially when you have girls.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I only got one of them, so. But, my team's the crop dusters. I'm going to be superstitious and keep the same what I've had the last 3 years. So
there you go. And then to the left, we have our experts with us, our experts that we've had from the beginning. So appreciate that. Oh, yeah. Nice air quotes, Andy.
Andy is an expert.
He's the expert.
He is the expert. Yeah.
He is picked by WinField as the expert. So
Yeah,
I
That
think
is true.
Yeah. We maybe need to reintroduce you two.
Yeah.
So I'm Andy Dickus. Seed product manager was my old role. I guess I'll be transitioning to one for this podcast. We'll just call me a seed product manager now. So I'm in charge of all the products in Iowa, Missouri, and southern Minnesota with this team because you guys go up there. Walk, talk, live, breathe, all corn and soybean products. So that is my life.
Yeah. So Adam Murray, I guess I'm a customer experience manager is my title technically. But
Get up there, Adam.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Work quite a bit on our business and also with our retailers and helping improve how we do
You
business.
see these headphones. You're supposed to use these headphones here, Adam, so you can hear yourself.
you might need to turn mine down a little bit, like when Andy talks. Like
I was about to say, Andy's good. You got to really get on that.
I got to really get
there
in
you
there.
go.
There you go. There you go.
Perfect.
Should have done a test run.
Yeah, it's fine.
Nope. This is the test run. This is what makes this podcast the best.
Yep.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it
live.
All right, so let's go through some of the ground rules that we're doing. We kind of explained it on our last one a little bit, but we're going to really get into it. Brady, myself, and Spencer, we are picking a corn lineup for a guy. We're like trying to do some seed selection based off of trying to have an early corn, a medium maturity corn, and a late maturity corn, and then building kind of that full total package for an operator at this point. And we're kind of doing it like building a fantasy football team too. So once a number is off the table, it's off the table for everybody else, and that makes it a little bit more exciting because there's a little bit of strategy involved with it. We're going to do kind of a snake draft where, you pick first in this round, but then you might be picking last in the second round. We just keep on doing that until we run out of picks and slots for our people. The slots are based off of the finishing of last year. And our reigning number one overall pick every year, the last few years, is Brady. I get to pick second, and then Spencer gets to pick last since he is the reigning champion.
Arguably, I'll take second any day because I feel like you get a good balance of both.
Yeah. Sometimes it's kind of nice having the slot on the end because then you got it 2 in a row. But
I don't like that.
That's
I like
the strategy.
I need to think.
Yeah, that's the strategy.
Well, and the danger with going first too, if you look at real fantasy as well, you always have to take Christian McCaffrey for first pick, and he's ended up being injured. A lot of times.
And lastly, that's the I forgot about that, Ed. Thanks for making sure I knew that. We got to kind of liken it to our favorite player that kind of matches the description of the said number. So
yep.
So we'll go from there. Spencer already made his pick of his team. We should probably go through that, but you're kind of emceeing the rest of the way, Murray. So you're ready to roll?
I guess we are ready to roll.
Okay.
All right. Well,
or did we want to talk about some of the numbers that we had at the answer plot and Rudd first?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Because and what we're basing this off of is our plot data from our plot data set. We got 4 or 5 plots that we'll be pulling out of our personal data set, but then we'll also be using the answer plot data generated from WinField United. Mm-hmm. So we've tried to keep some of the same numbers, but we want to make sure that we're not like picking like a weird one or something that's not in an answer plot and our plot too. So, because that can kind of skew the numbers and stuff like that. So, and we're basing it off of dollars per acre net after drying. We've had that discussion over the years.
Once or twice.
Still loses.
He tried to pull a fast one 3 years ago, and it's still. I think Brady
still a little salty on that one.
Brady reran the numbers, and it still
was in Chad's favor, or not Chad's favor. With not in Chad's favor.
It was not. It was closer.
Yeah.
But you still lost.
I still lost.
You still lost. You still lost.
I still lost. I can say it. That's fine. It's fine.
He's not salty about it at all.
No, it's one of those things.
The bright shiny
that's why he brings it up every year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we also have a trophy every year. We have a traveling trophy that
check out our video podcast to see the traveling trophy.
Yes. So
either that, or you got to stop into one of these locations and see it.
Yeah. Hopefully in Stacyville in December.
Oh, okay.
Already finding a home for it.
Am I getting an office down there and I wasn't aware of it?
I didn't know I was moving.
I don't know.
He's clearing off the dust on the shelf. He's like, yes.
There's a spot that's a little lonely spot in my windowsill that it was sitting for a year. It was kind of nice, but it's what it is. So let's go through some of those numbers at the Rudd plot. So we just make sure that we have some of those same ones.
Just give me a hot, quick minute. It's not like I didn't have time to separate out my corn and bean. Okay, go ahead. That was my filler.
Well, this is going to be the easiest thing is going to be for you guys to go through, but I'll just try it. All right. So for Brevant, we'll start with Brevant. So in the 100-day, they have B01X44V, B99A24V, B98Z37P, and that might be it for the 100-day.
Okay, hit us up with the. What are you going next? 95 or
actually, I lied. We don't have a 95 there.
Oh, geez. So we're gonna have to use Wadamingo for that then. So we will pull a couple plots. We got a couple regionally that we can kind of pull off of.
Yeah.
So we'll do.
So does 98 day stretch into the 95 day?
Yeah.
Then,
well,
or are you going to try to cheat the system again?
Hey.
Well, so how we do it? I'm just going to set the rules right now. It's 2 days either side. So
okay.
So 97 is as late as you can go in the 95 day. 98 is technically 100 day.
Okay.
And so it goes 98 to 102. That's 100 day. 103 to 107 is 105 day. And 108 to 112 is 110 day.
All right.
Okay.
We might have to utilize my corn on corn plot then to get more of the 95 to 97.
Well, that's why I put it in here.
Yeah, because we only had a couple 97. We had about 3 97s in Adams, and I don't know what you had down here.
I've got 2, and I've got a 95 as well.
Okay.
Okay. Where are you going next here, Andy?
105. So we've got 04J 45. 05D 47. 06Y 18. Missing one. Oh, nope.
03H.
Oh, nope.
No.
03H isn't in there.
Oh, yeah. Let me see.
I couldn't see his mouth when he did the oh yeah, so I literally thought somebody was just coming in from the back of my ear or something like that.
No, we don't have 035 in there.
Oh boy.
Put it in
Oh,
there
man.
nationally.
Oh my.
Man.
That's okay. You guys can still
You're
use
just
it.
gonna have to use our local data.
Yeah, and that's fine, too.
Localized
Yeah, I
plots.
think we'll be okay. There's plenty of stuff in that number range.
Okay, where are you going next, Andy?
We'll go some of the later stuff. So 0835, 09C43.
Do you want to go later than that?
No.
No.
I mean, I'm the
Perfect.
only one that has the 08R in it.
Yeah, we're not.
Yep.
We're good there.
All right, so we'll go Bayer.
Okay, 105.
Just wait. I gotta get it
Wait,
switched over.
Hey, this is a podcast, but this is like live.
I know. I'm just trying to get my phone.
Hey, Spencer, how you doing? No.
Yeah, we need to find some distractions.
He didn't think he was going to be put on the spot, did he?
Used to it.
He's always ready.
Andy's always ready.
I can do anything with my phone. Just give me enough time.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
We're going to have to cut that out.
No,
that's going to
we'll
be
be-
used against me in
We'll
the
be
future.
fine.
That's right.
No, it won't get used against you at all.
We can kind of go through ours and just say,
Looks like-
the highest we're going to go is like that 106.98,
Yeah,
56,
I guess
26.
And it sounds like most of the stuff we have in the plot, they have too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to
I don't know.
continue
I
to-
need to go through it. I mean,
Yeah.
quite honestly, if it's in your guys' plots
Okay.
and it's
Probably.
not in the other one, we
I
can
mean,
make
it's
it
not like
work,
we
so.
got like 10-year-old stuff in our plot this year either. I mean,
What
nothing
is-
too
What is
crazy.
our oldest number?
Probably 56, 65.
That's not even in here.
No, I think we got rid of that one
Did
for
we?
this year.
Yep.
I thought it was in the 4-way plot.
Nope.
Mhm.
5626 is.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, 06Y might be our oldest one.
Yeah, you
Or
could-
59 seed 72 might be our oldest one.
Yeah, you might be right on that.
Otherwise, 3790.
That's only 2 years old.
Yeah, but I that's what I'm saying. I think we got a lot of new stuff, a lot of tried and true stuff. So
Yeah,
Well, I
okay.
think that's one of the points that we need to make. If you take a look at the 3-4 brands that you guys have sold historically,
Mhm.
I mean,
mhm.
the 3 of them that I cover anyway, they are turning over fast and
Yes,
furious from
they
a corn
are.
lineup. And so, some of us that's a little bit scary, but if you take a look at just the new germplasm and just the overall yield potential of all these new products, it's a good thing for a lot of us because, we're starting to get a little bit old and stagnant is what I'll say.
Yep.
And for all brands that are involved, it's brand new, fresh, and that's scary for some of us, but there's some darn good products in there. So I'm interested to hear what your guys' picks are going to be because
We didn't even throw 4188 in there this year.
yeah, well, and it shouldn't be,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean,
Yeah,
it's an
I know.
older product. It's still got its place, but it's kind of being left behind in some of the new genetic stuff. So
kind of your rental corn now all
Yeah,
of a sudden. It's
exactly.
like, hey, you need something out there that grows corn and relatively inexpensive versus the high quality first year stuff price. Yeah, go with that.
exactly.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, let's go with that.
Chad,
Yes,
are we gonna go through names?
we got to go through names.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Spencer already said
the crop
his. He's got
dusters.
the crop dusters. Just go with me next.
Yep.
We're gonna go back to the well. We're gonna go Cliff's Crew, like we've been doing in the past.
Is that a K for
With the-
both? Or
yeah,
is that,
it's like Motley Crew. I don't know how you spell
right?
that. I spelled it wrong last year. So
Are you spelling
remember, you gotta-
crew like
you gotta-
Motley Crew, or are
We're
you
spelling
spelling it?
Crew like Motley Crew.
All right.
You got to do the umlauts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you look that up before you came
No,
here,
I
Spencer?
didn't.
I
know
just-
that.
I remember
we
that.
had that discussion last year.
Yeah.
I'm about horrible at picking names. I don't want to be the Korn Kobbers again.
Well, then find something new.
Yeah.
Can someone come up with a better name?
No.
We go through
Not
this
that you
every
can say
year.
on
Just
I know.
you gotta
Huh?
come prepared, man.
It's just they're always bad names.
You had an
They're
hour
just-
drive here this
They're
morning. You
cheesy.
could've
They're
thought
so
about it.
cheesy on the names. I just find
What do you think? Ours are cheesy? or?
Korn Kobbers with K's.
Oh, we're okay.
Oh yeah, we did with the K with the corn, like the band.
Yep. K. See, you did Motley Crue. I did Korn.
Yep.
Korn with the band.
Yep.
Okay, we're the Korn Kobbers.
All right. Well, it's your turn, Murray.
All right, perfect. So we've got everybody's names picked out.
Yep.
We're gonna do a snake draft, right? So we
Yep.
go, first, second, third, and then 3, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. They can pick any maturity range that they want to. So if they want to start in their 95, 100, 105, flex, kicker, defense, or all the different roles or positions that we're picking hybrids for. I don't remember. Did we ever talk about what the kicker? Is there any requirements for the kicker or defense?
Just soybeans.
Yeah.
Those are just soybeans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Flex could be soybeans, but I
If you
don't
really want to get dangerous
if
with
you
it.
want to be dangerous.
Yeah.
If you're really thinking there's going to be some 80, 90 bushel bean out there.
Yeah. Maybe.
Could be. Could be.
Maybe. We'll
Look,
find out.
I don't want to burst anybody's strategy now.
Yeah.
But could be.
Yep.
Could be.
Yeah. All right. So now that we got the ground rules established, I think we're ready to kick it off.
Yep.
So first pick, Brady, you are on the clock.
Do we have a time limit?
That
Are you kind of keeping an internal time clock?
I'll do a time limit.
I think we just do the gentleman's time clock.
Yeah.
The gentleman's time clock.
And then remember, once you make your pick, we have to make a correlation to a NFL player that's similar,
Oh,
right?
now I just screwed my pick up.
Well, we can help. That can be a team effort.
Yeah.
That's a team effort.
Yeah.
Andy can help us out with that.
So there's a couple I've been thinking of as I'm kind of looking through this list. Do I go late into this 106 day stuff? There's a 2 or 3 I really do like in that 106 day. But then I just keep going back to one that really just was a shining star last year, and I think it ended up like a late flex pick for somebody because we didn't end up picking it. But I'm gonna pick 105 33 35. It's just she's the only thing I'm worried about is, and Andy, I might need your help here, is the ones I've looked at. Now, I know we get worried, short, fat cob, right? It doesn't look like the yield's there. But that thing just, once it got out of the ground and we've got some split planted stuff with 5665, I think some of this stuff's going to yield better than this 5665.
Yeah, when you take a look at 105, 33, 35, I mean, I've already gotten calls on some of the products that are of our own that are like this. It's not long. And when I say it's not long, it's more like 32, maybe 34 long.
That scares me,
But
especially going out.
Yeah. And so when you start looking at that, but then you all of a sudden you do the rows around and it's consistently 18 to 20 to 20, maybe even 22. But then you look at how deep those kernels are. I've got a counterpart that calls it the third dimension of yield, right? And so what that third dimension of yield is kernel depth. And that's what 105, 33, 35 does better than anything else, is that kernel depth. So yeah, the kernel count maybe isn't there like you think it would be, because you'd want that 35 to 38 to, even 40 long. But if you go rows around and you look how deep that thing is, it's ridiculous how
It's not your traditional DeKalb hybrid when you're used to 5438 that flexes in length. And
Yeah.
It's a big blocky ear.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of talked
That
about
can
these
help.
new products already, but if you look at all these new products, there's not a whole lot of length there.
No,
And
especially
so-
on the
no.
Smart Stacks Pro side of things. They're
Well,
kind
I
of
mean-
short, blocky ears.
I mean, Brevant's the same way. You start looking at some of their new products. I mean, some of the, 04J45, that thing is got girth on top of girth. Yeah, it may have a little bit of length, a little longer than 10533, but man, there's some products that just, all the new stuff, it's all about kernel depth.
Yeah.
And so when you
Yeah.
start talking about that, that's what a lot of these new products are. So if you're going out there expecting 40, 45 long, those days are probably in the past.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Kansas, which I don't think many people, maybe, shout out to Western Kansas. If you're listening, there we are.
National podcast.
There we go.
Leave a comment if you're from, you said Western Kansas?
Yeah. Or
leave
just Kansas in general.
Leave a comment if you're from Kansas somewhere. On our YouTube channel here,
There you go.
where you can watch us frustrated making our picks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see. I was kind of looking at you guys when I made my pick. Did I get a fist bump or nothing from these guys? Because if we do, that means I stole one.
We're
and
remaining
that's-
third party.
Well,
so
No,
I-
if you got a fist bump, that means you didn't.
Oh,
pick
yeah.
one.
Well,
So
I was
yeah.
hoping for
If
a
you
kind
seen
of a
Chad go,
steal.
yes.
Yeah.
we're actually rooting for your failure.
yeah. Well, black
Adam,
cat
help me
going.
out here.
Yeah. You talked about big and
Big blocky.
The reason why I came up with, I was thinking running back. I was thinking of
Yeah.
a more thicker statured running back.
Yep.
Saquon is honestly where my head went.
Okay.
Not bad. Been around a little bit now.
I'm gonna
not a
say.
rookie.
Where are you going?
Well, I was gonna say Debo, but a
Mm.
little bit more multi-purpose.
No.
Kittle was more in my head.
I thought tight end too.
Put him a tight end. Let's do a Kittle. Let's save Saquon because I think Saquon's going to be used somewhere else. But
Not
Okay.
by
let's
me.
do a George Kittle.
George Kittle,
Utilitarian, big, bulky. Yeah, I like
good
it.
blocker. Good-
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, pick one's in the board. Chad, you're number 2. You're on the clock.
I might take a flyer on something here.
That means he's going for the beans, ladies and gentlemen. He's going for beans.
I can use the 104 day for my 105, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, you get 2 each way.
All right.
I'm going to go all the way down to 103 if you really choose.
I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna go with the new 104 day smart stack from DeKalb. The
104.14.
Or no, the
It's a VT4.
Or I'll do actually the VT4. I want to do the 104.08.
I was about to say we got 08 in ours. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I want to use 104.08. So, I was taking some notes out at our plots the other day. It looked like, from Adams and Rudd, I mean, it looked pretty consistent across the board. I'm kind of liking the look of that one. I'm not saying 105 is long in the tooth, but I want to maybe be on the front end of something here.
What do you and maybe this is just me and what we've seen, do you find that more of an upright or a flex from what you've seen, or what do you think?
So when I start looking at all these 104s or all these VT4s for DeKalb or even some of the grappling stuff, they look different.
They look really different.
So it's 105.33 has a little bit of good grain quality. It's not perfect, but good. But these things are going to have a lot more raspy grain. What you're going to notice from it's not going to be as blocky as what 105.33 is, but it's still about kernel depth when we start talking about that. And so a lot of these VT4s, they're going to be high yield things. And so Chad's coming off the top rope. He's going for yield. He's kind of learned his lesson, right? The past couple of years, he's going for the ones that have high yield. And so, historically, or I guess going forward, if you see anything with VT4, my rule of thumb is it's probably going to be a kind of a higher yield capability, because it's not going to be the rough and tumble sort of corn, but it's going to go for high yield. And that's just because of the genetics that they're able to put into it. It basically is unlocking new genetics for them that are high yield. And just making it a very, very clean conversion with that VT4 coming in.
Well,
there.
You don't have the yield drag.
Yep.
Or the trait drag, or whatever you want to call it at that point.
Supposedly.
It's out there.
The one thing,
is it out there or not?
Supposedly.
From Herculex?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just leave that at that. But the other thing that gets overlooked a lot, and I know we don't think about it a lot, but it's got that Tricepta trait in there as well. It's got that VIP trait in there.
For the earworm.
And so we don't think about Western bean cutworm over here, but I can tell you for earworm, to your point, Chad, that thing, I mean, it's the only thing that's controlling earworm this year. So it's just an added benefit to having that VT4. A lot of people look at it like, where does that fit? It doesn't really go in corn, da-da-da-da-da. Well, it's got that VIP. So that's where it fits.
Mm-hmm.
Player.
I was going to say Laporta, but he's not doing too well right now.
I'm also not referring to you when I say player.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking maybe like a Sam Laporta at that point, younger guy, but still can put up some damn good numbers.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
So we're 2 for 2 on tight ends.
Wow.
Who would have picked that in the first round, our first 2 picks were going to be tight ends?
Yeah, that's how important they are.
2 tight ends from where though, Chad?
Yeah, I know.
Oh boy.
I know.
Yeah, these are both the Iowa tight ends.
Chris is happy about that one.
Yeah, Chris is smiling. He's smiling off camera. Yeah. He's got you. Gosh, we've given Spencer way too much time on the clock.
Yeah, now that he's had his chance to think, you're up. Pick 3. Remember, you get two picks back to back.
I'm tickled pink. They didn't pick either one of ones had in mind.
Don't do what I think you're going to do here.
I've walked through the plots, especially these last 3 days.
I know. We just
calling them out.
We just came off our plot days, so if anything, we had
right here, man. I've done it too.
We've made notes. So.
Speaking of that, thanks for everybody for coming to our plots. We really appreciate you showing up.
Great turnout. Not a lot of food left.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Thanks to the employees for helping us put it on.
A little less arm hair from the old grill, but we're good.
Yep.
Those chops were awesome.
Yeah. No, so we had a really good turnout there. But
break my heart, Spencer.
I'm going to go white cobber.
Oh boy.
It looks good in every plot. And, we were over in Alden last night and, their plot, it looks tough. I mean, they just had so much rain over there. I feel for a lot of those guys. But you walk in that one, even over there, I was like, holy cows, that's got some ears on it. So I'm going 04J45 from Brevant for my 105 day.
It looks really good.
I was kind of, it was a coin flip for me. I mean,
that's where I was at, Chad. I was at the coin flip with 105 and White Cobber over there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I wanted to give it one more time. I guess.
You wanted to get them later in the round,
maybe.
Yeah. So walking through a lot of the plots that we 4-way and then our Meltonville one, that's the two that we see the most, especially with me working around the Adams area.
Yeah.
But that's one that's just kind of stuck out for me. I'm very curious to see how it's going to do. I think it looked good down in Rudd when we were down there in August.
Rudd, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, I took notes on that one. It was, some tip back, but it was very healthy. But the ears were long though too. I mean, it wasn't like it was like bad tip back.
Right.
It was just that little nubbin at the end, and that's perfect.
Was that in our mystery guess too?
Yep,
that was it. Yeah,
it was.
That was in the mystery guesser.
So, I can tell you, it looks all the way down into Vincent where I've seen it. It looks really, really good. I mean, it's one of those that kind of sticks out to you when you go by it, just from the ear perspective, right? When you look at it, it's just like, holy smokes! If this thing yields like it looks, it's going to be a contender. So I like the pick. I like that as number one.
I won't say it much, but that was a good pick, Spencer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now
I'm excited about it. So we'll see if it.
What's your player?
So
you almost have to go rookie, right?
Well, I was going to ask, was it around a little bit last year? Did you guys get to see it, Andy?
I didn't get to see it, but it was kind of one of their new release classes that they kind of got a little
like
bit out.
A winter
because I think they had a little bit
Yep.
that they even sprinkled out into the countryside this year, just a little bit here and there. So I was maybe going to call it a second-year kid, like a Jameer Gibbs or even that Robinson down in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Bijan.
I mean, a lot of excitement with it. Just
Yeah.
I like the Bijan pick.
Bijan
pick's good.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. So I was kind of my thoughts going into it.
Are you going to break my heart with your second pick?
Probably.
You're good with your. So let's put it out. All 105 days are crossed off.
Pretty much.
Right. Yep. So everybody's strategy seems to be the
minus
exact
the
same.
flex.
So I'm going right to the flex with my next one.
All right.
That's
flex.
That's what I was afraid
You're
of.
up for pick 4.
56-26 to kill is what one I'm going.
You kidding me?
That looks good in our plots.
Are you joking me right now?
I got you, buddy.
Oh,
you didn't get mine.
You didn't get it, man. You didn't get it.
I'm not worried.
You might be.
I'm not worried. These two will do the heavy lifting for me this year, the way they look. So I'm
wondering what your dark horse is, but I kind of want to hear. Spencer, tell me about it. What do you like about 56-26?
Love the late season plant health with it. DeKelb's kind of did a big overhaul with their late season plant health and intactness. So going to some of these Tricepta traits, they're getting more of that late season plant health, tar spot tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a lot of tar spot around our immediate area this year. When we were down in Rudd, we did see a little bit more, but even down there, I don't think it was anything that's really going to harm yield or anything or take stock quality away.
I saw a few flecks of it in Adams when I was walking the plot the other day, but I mean, it was just like one here, one there.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
I don't think for this trade territory, honestly, that tar spot's going to be an issue. You know what the interesting part is? The hot spot for tar spot was this year? Southwest Iowa.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Just insane. Like they have Southern Rust. They have.
So was it cooler than normal down that way?
It was cooler, but if you looked at all the rains that came across Nebraska,
it hit everything,
and then came up from Kansas, like the two storm paths go, they hit Southwest Iowa, Northeast Missouri, or Northwest Missouri, just every single time. And so it was more about the moisture that they had, and it was a little bit cooler, but it was a little bit cooler, I would say, overall for the entire summer. But tar spot shouldn't be as big of a deal here this year. That's good news.
The common rust and southern rust really popped up around here,
especially lately. In the last 2 weeks, they've really started to show up.
But that was already like after tassel. When we were scouting for tassel time, there was a lot of rust out in those fields.
For sure,
a lot of rust.
Yeah, I saw a common rust show up earlier than I ever have this year, and more of it. It was just
it was a heavy.
It was thick, and then southern rust came farther north than I've seen it in a long time. Chad, I mean, you're kind of the.
I haven't really seen much of it over the years, really at all. I mean, over the years, because common rust is the one that will go on both sides of the leaf, right? And then southern will be just on top, but it's like really localized clusters. Yeah.
And common is that brick red, whereas that southern's more of a bright
orange.
Yep.
Yeah,
you could feel it when we were grilling yesterday, I leaned over. It's like, gosh, it just feels like sandpaper.
Yeah.
Who's your player comp?
I'm going to call it Devontae Adams. It's been around for a few years, solid, reliable. I like it.
56-26?
I don't know. Depends who his quarterback is.
Yeah.
I mean, not as long as Devontae Adams has been around.
I was about to say, okay. Yep, I got you.
If you wanted to be more recent, you like a
Garrett
Jamar
Wilson?
Chase.
Jonathan Taylor.
Who would you say?
Garrett Wilson?
Josh Jacobs. I can say Josh Jacobs now.
Hey,
You
we're
can
good.
say it.
Yep.
You can-
Yeah, we're good.
Pick, yeah.
They're
That's actually not a bad one.
They're actually running the ball for a change.
Yeah,
Hey, they have been running the ball.
He's in the
Don't
top
fight me.
5 for rushers.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't feel like it.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
So,
Josh Jacobs?
Josh
yeah,
Jacobs.
let's do that one. I like that one. Good pick,
That's a good
Spence.
one. Yep.
Okay, Chad, break my heart. Keep going. Just take all my picks away.
Flex,
Yeah.
110-10.
Nope, you didn't break my heart.
It's
Sounds
not in our
good.
plots.
Yes, it is.
It
It's
is.
in Rudd.
It's in
So we're only going to have one data set on it?
And the answer plot.
and the answer plot. Isn't it in yours, Spencer?
Mm-mm. I quit at 0008R.
I'm going for the fences here, boys.
You really are.
What do you
You guys were talking. I was going earlier. Oh, we don't have to go later than that, and he comes out from the top.
That's why.
110,
That's
eh?
why he said you don't need to go later than that. Oh, you don't need to go later than that,
Well-
Chad. DKC
playing the
1
mind games.
Playing the
10.
mind games.
10. That's a good pick, Chad. It's a
So
very good pick.
the reason why I'm picking that one, the Kelp's been just piping on that one pretty hard the last few years or the last year and a half. That one is one of their highest yielding ones in the 105, 110 day set. So I'm going for yield, and we're going hard at it.
There's no science
Wanna
behind
win.
what I'm about to say, which is the fun part about this. But if you look at them being Bayer, DeKalb, coming out with new traits, and this was the only Smart Stacks product that they came out with last year that they released, there had to be a reason why. And that reason is because agronomically it's very sound, and B, probably more so A, is that thing is just a yield hog when it comes to just overall yield potential. So, I mean, it was one of those things that it wasn't a trait that they were desirable, because really Smart Stacks probably going to go to the wayside and everything's going to go VT4 and Smart Stacks Pro, but it was undeniable. So that's why it came out. So that thing is just, it looks like a beast.
So some of the stuff I was looking at in Rudd, I mean, it was clean disease wise. Stocks on it were excellent. And then every ear was at least 18 around.
Yep.
With good kernel depth. It's a tall plant, because it's also one we can use for dual purpose around this area, but I'm not needing it for that. But, but the ear on itself, it was just, every one of them was just awesome out there. So
what's your player comp?
We're going to get an early frost, and it's going to be 40-pound test weight.
Now any other year I would maybe think a little different. I'm just going for this year only, going that late.
He's playing for keeps.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pissed. He
He's
wants
on a
that
revenge
trophy.
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants that trophy.
I want that damn thing back.
I'm just on the tour. I'm not a revenge tour. I'm just here. I'm here to
You're just
play.
a filler.
I'm just here to play.
He's the opener.
I'm here to have fun.
CJ Stroud.
Okay. I'm with you there. I feel it. Reasoning?
Yeah. Is there any thought?
Young guy coming out of nowhere, probably from a place that's kind of a quarterback waste yard in Ohio State. So coming out, expectations are low, but he's kicking butt.
Thanks for picking Big Ten there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
Brady.
up.
Being that all 105 and I'm the last to pick a flex, I'd like to make an honorable mention, and this might be a dumb idea to not pick it, but 106.98 I think is a nice honorable mention. But I gotta do Jim's tried and true 47.57. Did well for me last year as my anchor for me last year. Looks really good in Rudd. I haven't looked at it in your plot, Spencer, but big fan of it. It's 107 day, but it looks good. I don't know. I'm sticking with my gun, my big slinger, my Aaron Rodgers. So that's where I'm going with it. I know, and I probably should have picked this 106 because we just talked about VT4, but I'm going with 47.57.
That's a nice versatile one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I look at it, I mean,
Your
you
face
talk
didn't
about-
say that.
You talk.
You gave me a face like it didn't. It wasn't.
No, it's a nice versatile one, but
Yeah,
I remember looking at it in my plot and just there's some heavy hitters in that late maturity, and I didn't see it in my plot.
Well, when we start looking at it, it really is probably going to be in that same comparison as like 56-26 when you start looking at it. Anywhere that goes, I think 47-57 can go.
And I pulled Chad's motto here. It's like it looks really good in Rudd, and that's kind of where I'm going with it at the answer plot.
Yep.
So I'm pulling for that one at least on that end.
So I see. Just go with the Rudd answer plot where they always average 285 bushel the acre.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, guys.
All right.
You can do the same thing.
Yeah, you had that choice. Player?
I said Aaron Rodgers. Just kind of that.
Waiting for his Achilles to snap.
Yeah,
maybe a couple years ago, Aaron Rodgers, but Green Bay Packer Aaron Rodgers. That's where I'm going with that one. I don't know. Who do you got as a mainstay?
I don't know.
There's no mainstays
anymore. I don't know if I would
anymore.
have picked that. But
They're all retired, and there's no mainstays anymore.
Well, think of the quarterbacks that you want. I mean,
Mahomes,
Patrick Mahomes,
Burrow.
if you're talking about
Burrow.
versatile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'd be more Josh Allen.
Let's go Josh Allen then.
Jalen Hurts.
I can stomach the Josh Allen one. Let's do that.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Well, you're
that
up
might
again.
even be a Kirk Cousins, just
Well,
steady, consistent, reliable. He's
not going to be a plot winner all the time.
No,
but
and
it's just going to.
Just because you're not a plot winner doesn't mean you don't have a fit.
Right.
So on my snake pick here, I've got two in mind again, but I can't make my honorable mentions because I don't want to really give them.
Well, if you give an honorable mention, we're going to go with that one.
That's why I'm not making the honorable mention right now because I've been torn between these two for, I don't know, all year. All of our plot tours, anywhere it seems to be next to each other, they look really good. So I'm just going to go with the 10213 VT4. Just looks awesome, looks solid, rock star. I definitely think it's going to be in everybody's mix, or if not, should be in everybody's mix next year.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to, copy and paste what I said about 10408 from a VT4 perspective. All these VT4s, they're bringing something just a little bit different. And if you look at some of the tar spot tolerance, you look at a lot of this stuff that they're bringing out, the yield potential is really what's driving a lot of this. I mean, that new trait is just, it's yield, and more yield with the agronomics to follow behind it. So we've talked about it already, but just the exciting new class of every brand that we have coming here is just, it's going to be a fun fall, I think, to see some of the fun numbers that come out.
Yep.
Especially after last year.
Yeah.
We're hearing some damn good numbers on silage already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The silage has got me pretty amped because there's some stupid numbers being out there that are being said. And
Yes,
it's just
there
like,
is.
okay, let's temper our expectations here a little bit, but still get you getting that fire in your belly going a little bit. So
player, I'm going with Nico Collins.
Love it.
From Houston.
Yeah.
Newer, and not brand new this year, but obviously newer.
A lot of upside potential. Quarterback he's got there.
We just talked about him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thought I had was Breece Hall, honestly. A lot of upside.
Not this year.
Nah. That's your Iowa State coming out.
Well, for sure. I got to plug some player. We've had two Iowa players.
We've had two Iowa players with,
so we've got to plug
Chad
them
over. Chad's talking up the Iowa guys, all the,
And Big Ten.
Yeah.
And
I
Big
know.
Ten.
That's saying something, isn't it?
Yeah. That's good job. Good job there, Chad. Chad.
Yeah.
What do you got?
101 or 101.33. That's looking really good in the plots and out in the country right now.
Chad's kind of a DeKalb homer.
I am. I know.
He does. He's got 101. He's got 104. He's got 110.
So
he
went
wild and went 110.
So there was a couple numbers I was thinking about. I mean, in that range. I mean, BO1 X44. I thought about that one.
Hey, he's still got a pick over here.
But I mean, I kind of did the coin flip with the. I got more history with the 101.33. I think that one's a good one to kind of look at in the future. But and it does look good.
That's how cocky Chad is he's going to give you what he would have gone with, and he's going to nice mind game, Chad.
Well, I was, I actually thought you were going to take 101. I was actually going to take 102 if you didn't take that one.
No, I'm much a bigger fan on 102.13 right now.
Yeah. I just like the versatility of 101. I mean, that can go anywhere, corn on beans, wherever you need to take it. I mean, it's a great number for broad acres.
I mean, you start talking about these new ones. Now we're excited about some of these new ones, but I should probably be the voice of reason here, being product management, right? All of these new products are not going to be endless so we're going to have to use some of these products. And I'm not saying that 101, 33, 35 is a bad product, because it is probably that product that can go everywhere, do anything, do a lot of things that we need it to do. And it's got the high yield potential. Realistically, last year, it kind of reset the market when it came to yield, the yield ceiling, or the yield, what the expectation was.
In that 101 day range.
In that 100-day maturity,
yeah,
it reset the market on where the yield needed to be. And it still is there today. It's just kind of, there's just a lot of new shiny objects, right? That we're all just looking at like, ooh, I want this, I want this. But realistically, if we're looking at what's going to be sold the most across the acres this year, 101, 33, 35 is probably going to be the big chunk of those acres.
Because isn't that like the number 2 or number 3 most produced number for that genetics? That's for the whole line.
So if you take a look at just the germplasm, it's number 3 overall.
Number 3 overall. And that's including 110, 115 day stuff, and 101 is in that number 3 spot.
Well, it's funny. So if you look at it, so historically you would have thought, just because the acres that it goes across, 110 would have been DeKalb's number 1 produced products. Their first 3 for overall production, the first 2 are 118 and 116 day. So you think about that, and then their next one's 101 day.
Yeah.
And so you think about just what they're going into. Not that they have bad products 110 day, but that just tells you what they think of those products when you start looking at it. And 101.33 being the 3rd overall, it's going to cover a lot of acres, and probably going to be on everyone's order if I were to guess.
Another one that should be on everyone's order.
Yes.
Do you have a player in mind for this? I have a suggestion if you want.
A 2-year
guy.
Oh, a 2-year. Well, then
2 or 3. Well, it's 3 year.
3 year
Well,
guy.
Guy that's getting close to the end of his contract.
Yes. Yep. End of his rookie
been
contract.
a good value over the years.
Yep.
And is on a really good platform.
Here we come, Vikings alert.
Oh boy.
No.
I'm going to go with with Murray's favorite quarterback in the NFL. Not a purple guy that's wearing purple.
Purdy?
Yeah.
Brock.
All right.
He's going to reset the market.
Just because he's the next.
Just because he's the next Tom Brady. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm not going to say anything about that.
What were you going to say?
Well, the only thing, I just took a word that you were picking is it's going to cover a lot of ground. So my first thought was Tyreek Hill from versatility.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
Yep.
Or Jefferson.
Yeah. He did reset the market in the salary cap for the receivers.
I'm going to switch that around. I want Jefferson.
Now everybody wants his pay.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want Jefferson.
That one I can feel, and that's where I thought you were going.
Andy, he's saving his Purdy pick for later. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Nah,
Anybody who's watching, if you've just been watching Spencer this last 3 minutes, he's really dialed into
really
this.
quiet.
I think he's stressed, actually.
He's been really quiet.
The worst part is I really hope he doesn't pick my early set.
Well, speaking of Spencer, you are up.
I wasn't ready yet.
You've been ready.
Okay, I'll pick then, Spencer.
So I got 2 back-to-back right now.
Yeah.
And I have my 195 day set left.
Or
defense and kicking.
Start going in the beans.
Quit dogging on the beans, man.
You got to be in my area. Beans are basically just a cover crop.
Do what my 3-year-old niece did for our snake draft. Take a kicker in the 3rd round. You know what? She beat me last week, so it's hard to argue.
It depends on the kicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them can put up good points.
No, I got to go for yield because now Chad's deciding to come and play this year with his 110 day. So, and I got to stretch that 100 day. I think I'm just going to go the 102.28. That actually does look pretty good in all our plots too.
Yeah.
Another solid Tricepta option for guys that looking for that rotated acre.
I'm really glad you said that one. I'm a big fan of that one.
Yeah.
Or are you just saying that?
No. I really do. I like it. I thought this year was a little slow out of the ground, but it looks really good. Andy and I were looking at it when we were doing was that like V5 timing? We did our mystery. And that was one of your, I would say, top 5s that you were looking at. You're like, God, that looks really good.
Which is crazy because like if I would have compared my emergence notes compared to how it looked at V5, I mean it was just a showy green, dark, and the leaves were pretty. I mean, pretty corn is what I call it.
And it was good because you said that one, and then which I'm surprised nobody picked was 01X from Brevant.
That's why I was staring. I was like,
yeah,
which way do I go?
Because those are the two that you were like, man, just somebody's got it right.
But 01X is still a little too new to me. I haven't seen enough of it. We've seen a little bit of 102.28 last year. I did not see the 01X, so that's kind of why I went with the 102.28. And I think it's a good complement to like the 102.13 for DeKalb. I mean, that's going to be your VT4, your smart stacks, or potential, if you've had the issues with rootworm in the past, but you're still rotated, that's where you go your 102.13. Haven't had the rootworm issues. That's where the 102.28 has a nice play.
Yep.
I think that 01X, I think it suffered a little bit in our area. It was so wet. I think it maybe struggled with its roots a little bit more than maybe it would. Maybe if it was a little better drained, I think it would be a more showier, easier one. I don't know. What do you think on that one?
Yeah, I mean, to you guys' points, all of these products are brand new, right? So like we're looking at things that we like and looking at it. 01X from a yield perspective, I mean, they're touting it as pretty high things, but there's some other things that we haven't seen yet, right? Like late season intactness and some of the things that I actually, when we start looking at even like an 04J or 10408, I have those questions still, but up to this point, it's been check, right? Yeah. So the exciting part of it, but also kind of the cautionary part of it. Right. So we're talking about it right now, but these guys are taking chances this year because they have to, because like we started off with, there's a lot of new exciting products out there. So,
yeah. Well, good.
Player.
Ooh, not playa. You, just a player.
That's playa.
Thinking like a second-year wide receiver.
I had one in mind.
Let's hear it.
I was thinking of Mon St. Brown.
He's
Monra?
He's a good compliment with Jared Goff. He's fairly new.
Not a second year, but he's newer. He's a good route runner.
Yep. Wilson.
He looks good.
Garrett
Wilson.
Yeah.
Could be.
No, I'm going to take Garrett Wilson for my pick.
Garrett Wilson's still a lot of hype to me.
Yeah.
He's got Aaron Rodgers. It's going to come around eventually.
If Lazard can produce,
that's not 102.28.
Lazard's going to keep
come
taking
around
his touchdown
ball.
You're right.
Yeah. No, I like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before you go again, just want to highlight we've all picked our 100-day maturity, our 105, and our flexes. So
is that surprising to anybody?
No, we're going for high yield for it seems
3 years ago, it surprised the hell out of me. Now it doesn't.
So we have our 95.
Pick your tight ends and wide receiver or running backs.
Yeah. We have 95-day defense and kicker, which are, of course, soybean hybrids or varieties. So I guess, Spencer, you're back on the clock.
It's a shame I can't stretch that 95-day into the 98.
We got to set a rule somewhere.
I know, because one thing I'll give a shout out to is 0988 or 9888 from DeKalb. That looks really good in our plots too this year.
Mm-hmm.
With this competition, we're probably not going to pick it because it's at the bottom of the 100-day range with how we do it. So
it is a good honorable mention. I'm
glad
glad you said it because I don't know if you would have. I would have definitely said it.
Chad would have tried to pick it.
I was going to try to pick it. I was going to see if you could see
He's going to be like, "Oh, it's 96.88."
I'm guilty of. I was going to try to pick it too.
So trying to cheat away to victory again.
So this is his way of roadblocking Chad.
That's right.
I appreciate that.
Just stay off my pick, and I'll continue the good words towards you.
So, I mean, and honestly, in our plots, we don't have a lot of options in that 95-day set. But one thing, I like the Cropland 3724. That's what I'm going to pick. Lots of high yield potential. You guys were very, very excited about it last year. And then I think drought kind of tempered that. But some areas, I think it still even did pretty well.
Actually, what tempered it last year is we had production issues with it. So
supply had more.
I mean, in your plots.
Yeah. But honestly, for 2 years now, it's been really, really good, and it looks phenomenal this year again. So I think in that sub, to your point, 98-day getting into some of that early corn, 37-24. I mean, we had it in our 100-day testing 2 years ago, and it was the closest thing to 101, 33, 35 that we had in our lineup. And so when you start looking at just the yield potential from a true 97-day, that's what excites us about it. Late season tagness, all that stuff. Check, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's as good of a product as is there. More as complete of a product, as I should say, because I know what Brady's going to come up here next and do, but this is as complete of a product as we have.
And it's only a double pro. So
Yep.
Rotated acre.
Chad is next. Don't give him my pick, man. He's already got it. Take it, Chad.
Well, you got to hold on. He's got a player.
He's got a player.
No, just get it over with.
Ooh. It'd be like another running back with a lot of upside potential.
Are you looking him up?
Oh, yeah. I got my fantasy up and I got the top players.
That's what I got pulled out. I have ESPN up, so I'm looking at stats.
Yeah.
Oh, how about
Trying to be more serious about this year. Last year, I think it was just depending on these
Chad,
two to do the player
how
count.
many times did he not want to do it?
Oh,
I'm trying to be more serious about it this year.
We'll talk about that.
I really want to talk about it if he wins this year, too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it then.
Yeah. Goad him into doing it.
You got a face for camera and a voice for radio. So.
No, so do the rest of us.
I think it's the other way around, Spencer.
Yeah, I had that messed up.
So you're thinking running back?
What do you got? What do you got? What is it? What do you consider?
Give me an
this?
A-chain.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I weirdly agree with you on that.
That's not a bad
honestly, I
pick.
do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dolphins running back.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Not,
He is fast.
Not Raheem the Dream. Must start.
Haven't heard much out of him this year.
No, he's broken.
He's gone.
He is broken.
He is broken. I like that. Good pick, Spence.
All right, Chad.
Chad's already got his
Cropland.
Yeah, Chad's already got his
37.90.
stupid book up.
Cropland's got like 397 days. They might take all of them.
You might as well have the other one while you're at it, Brady.
Just throw in the Smart Sex Pro.
It will be because that was my pick.
Yeah, so I went with that one. Just some of my notes from the plot. Looked pretty healthy. Pretty consistent year across the board. Stocks were excellent on it, I thought. It's one of those. I'm not. 95 days, guys just need something. I mean, but yet it's still fairly sound agronomically across the board. So I mean, I kind of like the way that one kind of looks, and it's been in the lineup for a few years. Might as well go with the one that's been out there and consistent. One that you got to put a fungicide out there, but that's what it is. We're doing that anyways.
Ooh, so mad.
You want to talk about yield? I mean, that's what this thing has.
I don't want to hear it.
Now there is risk to it, but
but if
and
you
it's not
manage
going
it well.
to be in every acre all the time. But this can be an early corn that really has a lot of high yield. This and 3724 are kind of neck and neck. 3724 may be a little bit better from agronomics perspective. So if we get a wet fall here, Spencer, your pick will probably shine a little bit. But if we get good timely harvest, 3790 is hard to keep up with from a just
sounds like
overall.
Christian McCaffrey.
I was gonna say,
does.
Derrick Henry too, maybe. But
Yeah, I'd go McCaffrey pre Achilles.
You just got to keep him healthy.
Yeah, that's hard.
It looks really good in the answer plot.
It does.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
But
Which
I mean,
is
those.
why I was gonna pick it.
I mean, those management things. I mean, those are. I mean, do make sure you're going out there with enough nitrogen especially a little later.
Yep.
And the fungicide plays into it too. I get that, but most of your high yield acres are doing that anyways, and most guys aren't planting like a lot of 95 day. They just want to get something kind of shined up
To
and
get started
and
go
go
out
from
there,
there.
get the combine started, get it early.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yep.
cool.
Sorry, Brady.
Well, Brady, you're back on.
Apology not accepted. Because I could just throw a wild card at you and pick this NK 97 day, but I wouldn't do that.
You could. That's up to you. That's
The last corn pick you can make.
See, I'm stuck here, but I know I'm going to pick 3715. But I was kind of stuck on 9557, but I just think that 3715 has a little bit higher yield potential.
That one looks pretty good in our plot, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I looked at that one. I don't know. Did we have that in over by Alden or not?
I can't remember.
Okay.
But no, I
Because you didn't have it in yours, did you, Spencer?
yeah, he did.
You did?
No.
Wait, which one are you talking
95.
about? Yeah, you had the 95, didn't you?
95, 57.
No, you didn't.
No, I only have the 3724.
Okay.
There's never enough room.
Yeah.
It was somewhere, I thought.
It's in Adams.
I don't know.
Jim didn't give me a bag for my corn on corn plot.
You hear that, Jim? He's throwing shade at you. You had it in your regular plot, Spencer.
Okay.
3715.
No, I thought we were talking 9557. Which one were you talking
Oh,
about?
I had that one in my corn on corn.
9557.
Yeah.
You had
It
VT4.
looks.
That's in my corn on corn plot.
yeah.
First year corn on corn.
So
making that distinction.
Big,
First year corn on corn.
Because it's a VT4. I mean, that's a little
big corn on corn guy over here. Those were the two I was kind of focused on, was 9557 and then the 3715. But really, it came out to just a little bit better yield potential. Looks really good this year too.
Mm-hmm.
Agronomically, man, the yield potential, Brady already said it, but agronomically, you want to talk about just kind of a go everywhere, use and abuse type product that you can do. Also manage if you so choose to, and it's got Smart Sex Pro on top of it. I mean, it's an exciting thing for that maturity, right? And so not a lot of products have that at that maturity. So great pick. I like it.
Got a player in mind?
Andy swept the 95 days.
Not one at all. I really will need help here.
Oh boy.
Second year tank.
Just really, really consistent overall.
I don't even know who's been a second year tank. What do we got? I need help. Fantasy guys.
Mike Cook.
Puka
Nakua.
I don't like that pick though for this year.
He doesn't have.
But now broken. That what's his name is hurt. Cup is kind of injured a little bit.
Nakua's broken IR. Too.
Oh, is he right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Otherwise,
see how much I've been.
I feel like that's
attention.
another tight end pick.
The other one else. The only thing I was thinking of was
Likely. We're gonna go Likely.
Isaiah Likely.
We'll go Isaiah Likely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
He's
good.
Leading
pick.
the tight ends in fantasy points.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely there.
I forgot. There was one of them I was thinking on the way down. I was going to compare to Brock Bowers, young and upcoming. And
that one could be that too.
Well, he's a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie though. Yeah, that'd be if we had picked that 95.
All right, Brady.
I'm
kicker.
so torn.
Yeah,
I really am. I like a lot of beans. I probably put too much emphasis in beans compared to the other two here.
Could have done a flex.
No, you can't.
I thought about it.
Now.
Thought about it. Not really. I don't know. From what I looked at, it really came down to planting date.
Mm-hmm.
So even we were looking at Spencer's plot and looking at some of his 2-1s, and even some of them were turning a little faster than the others. But it really just came down to planting date. So honestly, a lot of this could be a shot in the dark, depending on what comes out. So best of luck to the rest of you, because it really isn't going to matter. I think you just pick your favorite bean and what it looks like, and
yeah,
they all look good.
They all do.
They do. I really hate stalling and making my pick here, but
I try to take notes at the plot, and it's like, I'm not seeing any really difference.
No,
I'm not seeing white mold. I'm not seeing sudden death. Or
this one
just looks
good.
like beans.
Yeah,
this
they just look like beans.
I'm
bean blind at that.
point. I could tell you what number I'm not picking for next year.
Well,
yeah, I got one or two of those too.
No,
the gentleman's clock is ticking here, by the way.
I know. Well, if I keep stalling it, I can just go back and forth.
You'll just forfeit our draft. We will pick for you.
We want yield, right?
Or I'll skip them.
We're going for yield?
Yes.
Okay, NK 19 T8s.
Is that your defense or your kicker?
That's going to be my kicker.
That was a good clarification.
Yep.
Brady.
That's what it came down to. Is we want offense? Let's go for offense.
Mm-hmm.
I can't disagree with that one.
They look really good.
Well, and so what we know about that one, maybe agronomically not the strongest bean, but when it comes to offense, yield, and more yield, that's what they have. And this year, Chad kind of said it. There's not a whole lot of white mold. There's not a whole lot of stuff that's showing up all too much. But the thing I'll say about beans is it's an exciting time because we're just kind of coming out of, I say this at our plots jokingly all the time, and these guys laugh at me, but when I say beans are going to be fun again, beans are fun. We're going to make beans fun.
Remember when we were talking about we were talking about genetic diversity however many years ago, right? We were excited.
So now we're starting to see that genetic diversity where it's not, this is the same as. There's a lot of differences depending on the company that you have. So there's going to be some
Me Too's are way smaller.
Way smaller. And so when you start talking about, there's going to be some differentiation throughout companies. And so you need to start paying attention to beans again, because there are differences when we start looking at companies and just overall yield potential, agronomics, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing for everyone in the industry today.
I am stuck on a player.
Kicker.
Let's go Moody, because he destroyed week 1.
Yeah, I was going to
I like that pick.
He didn't do a whole lot in week 2, but he destroyed week 1.
Because the Vikings defense
did
his job. Nothing, I don't know.
Man, he's zoned in. He didn't even give you the time of day on that one.
He was right.
Hey, I'm on the clock.
No comment.
No, you are now.
Gentleman's clock's already been going for a while, so you're already.
Whoa.
Yeah, because you tore into mine. You tore into mine.
Mr. Staller. You should change your name to like Stallers.
The Stallers. The
Corn Stallers.
The Corn Stallers.
Kind of sounds Russian.
we're blending that line.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Chad. I stalled more for you. What do you got? Don't take it, because it's mine.
I'm going back to the future.
Oh,
Back to the Future.
I like it.
I'm going with a number that
that
has been in the lineup 3 times. Andy,
yes. This is the 3rd time.
Is this the 3rd iteration of this number?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to go with it. I'm going to go with one of the first numbers I ever sold. 2020 cropland.
But now it's just a different trait.
But it's a different trait.
is this defense or kicker?
I'm going to use my kicker.
Ooh.
It's a win pack. It's going to have your, your more defensive and more offensive. So you spread your risk across that whole acre. White mold on it is going to be about as good as we can do in our lineup at that point, but it's also got the Peking in there as well. So everybody's favorite bean buzzword here the last 1.5 to 2 years.
Yeah, the famous thing while I was doing training was it's Peking, which is great if you're into that, right? But that's not why we picked it. And I'm not being mean against Peking and all that kind of stuff, but
it's being mean.
It's kind of a nice to have, not a need to have. And
right.
Chad hit it right on the head. When I take a look at this one, nothing bad against what we had with 2030s here, but this is going to be agronomically a little bit more sound, and it's going to have that next yield. And I was just talking about genetic diversity. Oh, by the way, this is because it's 2 different beans. It brings 2 genetic different backgrounds, and so that's an exciting thing that we can do from a cropland thing. So I'll get off the cropland commercial now. But love the pick, because I was so just so we know, I'm the voice from basically 1.8 to 2.2 in our company. So I was very, very adamant that this needed to be what we had, and so along with my replacement, Jeff Osterhaus was part of that. So it's
That's 2020. You better be good with it.
Well, yeah, that's some big shoes to fill.
I know. That's why we did what we did.
Comp, Will Reichard from the Vikings.
Alrighty, Spencer.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. We're just gonna move
Spencer.
on.
Oh, come
Who
on.
is that?
Spencer's pick is
You can just see it in all of our face, like, and I'm a Vikings fan. I was like,
I think it's.
I didn't even know his name. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He's the blank face on the picture.
He's like the 15-year-old kid that's got the backpack and walking out in the field. Needs to get a card.
Are you part of the team? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you a bag boy or what are you?
No, I kicked the ball.
I'm going all late. I'm going to go the NK21C2s. I like how those look. I'm going to pick that for my...
That's what I was stuck on between the 19s and the 21s.
I mean, with my 2 picks I got, you can go either way, because that one is pretty defensive for it being a later bean. It does have a pretty decent white mold score, which is something I really look at, especially in my geography.
Okay,
I like
21C2.
Yeah. I like how they look. I'm excited to see how they do.
Yeah.
I think from what we're seeing this year, there may be a touch later than a 2-1. There's some 2-2s out there that are maybe earlier. Yeah. How you want to look at it.
I thought it was turning a little bit quicker in yours.
It was turning
later.
Their 2-2s were turning earlier than the 2-1s.
Yes. Yep. That's what you're saying.
But I like that one. And then I'm going to go with Cropland 2230s. Because I need yield now to make up for Chad's 110.
CP2230E. Why that pick, Spencer?
Yield. Late season maturity. yield. Well, and it's also another win pack, so there is going to be defense to it. Andy will clean up everything we say wrong about it, so that's why he's here.
Hey, cropland commercial man, what do we got? What do we like about 2230s?
And the back.
He's back.
And he's back.
No, I mean, exactly. Yield. When we think about this one, we've historically had 2220s here. 2220s were a great bean, but more of a defensive type of bean. This is bringing yield. And so we tested one of the beans last year, answer plots, just as an EXP. And it was basically 3 to 4 bushels better than what we currently have here. And then we brought in, one that was agronomically really sound and had half Peking. Again, not because we wanted to necessarily have Peking here, it just was the best option we had. And it was a nice to have, not a need to have. So I love this pick. High yield. That's what I like about that bean. So
Is there a player in mind? Well, you did 2 picks without players.
Yeah, I suppose. Well,
yeah.
We'll go Brandon Aubrey for the kicker.
Okay.
He's having a good year so far.
Who'd you say?
Cowboys kicker.
I agree. Should have the tied record. Should have the record, but Big Mike didn't think 74 yards was worth it. It's okay.
It'd be a crazy kick.
Yeah.
He would have made it.
Brady's not mad about it.
Yeah.
No.
Must have had some points on it.
No, I wish it did. Honestly.
For the defense, I'm going to pick the Packers. I know you two won't like it, but there's excitement now.
No.
They have a secondary that goes after the ball.
Well, secondary and now you have midfield as well, where you were lacking in that sense. Old Clayboy is left.
Yeah.
That and a guy that, well, I can't say about the penalties because he did cost us the game last year, but I won't go into detail because I'm also mad about that too.
Yeah. And I think their defense is going to keep getting better too. I like their safety acquisition of Xavier McKinney. He's been good so far.
I will never disagree with the pick of the Packers. Thank you, Spencer. Good pick.
Okay.
Now let's let Stalin come back here and.
You are more Stalin than he is.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm actually.
I've at least got filler with my Stalin. He's just sitting here like,
just a defense.
I'm just trying to find. Yeah. Damn it. I don't know. The problem is like all the ones I was thinking that could have been in this spot, especially the 21C2s are gone. So now I got to pivot and I can't think.
There's a good pivot out there. You just haven't seen it yet.
There's lots of good options on the earlier side.
I know.
It's just sometimes
that was my question is, do you go early or not?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about maybe the NK16, but I just don't know enough.
There's been some crazy high yields come out from some 1-1 to 1-5.
I know it. Yeah, because I mean, you guys got your 1-5. That's looking interesting.
You got the baseline counter coming here, Chad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Get ready.
You are coming Stalin. We got the Stalin twins over here.
Well, hold on now. I already got my pick.
It was nice going back to back. Just
I've got my 2. I've got my 2 already. I don't even know why I'm holding this. I just got to decide between
Spencer
my 2.
can exit draft if he wants.
He could if you wanted to. Yeah,
Spencer's left the chat.
He just left.
See you guys next year.
Thank you guys. See you later.
I'm just gonna go with the NK16Z6s. I mean, I don't know. That's probably the last pick I wasn't real super prepared for. There's just so many dang beans. I mean, my God. But I like that it's little different in the when it comes to the genetic package, and it's going to be good for the white or for the sudden death. I mean, or the SEN. So I'm going to go with that one.
I'm a little shocked.
What were you thinking I was going to go with?
15 G9s. Or, is that what they are? Yeah, the G9s.
Yeah.
That's where I thought you were going. I surely would have. That's my 1 of 2 picks. So I was hoping you were going to pick it so you could decide my second one for me.
So it sounds like your player pick is somebody you really don't have confidence in.
The Vikings defense.
That's actually a fair statement.
The defense is there. You just hope they show up. Is that what you're saying?
They got to get turnovers.
Yeah, true.
All right, Vikings.
True.
Vikings defense, I guess.
If they're on and they got turnovers,
They're
lights
awesome.
out. Lights out. Yep. Good pick.
Good coach.
Good
and
pick.
Andy doesn't even have an answer for that one, I guess.
That was a great pick.
Yeah, I know.
Moving on.
He doesn't like
It's a
your pick.
clunker.
It's okay. It is a clunker.
All right, Stalin 2. You're up.
He was pretty high after that 110-10. Now I think he's came back down to earth.
Yeah.
Hey, 110-10. It's just been declined since then.
I don't know about that.
He shot his shot at 110-10, and it was been boom.
I don't know about that.
He shouldn't. Yeah, I was about to say he probably could have left that till the end. He could have gotten some better ones, but okay. Stalin's ready to go. Not really, but honorable mention here with 2075s. I think Zytavo 2075s. Think they look really good just from what they look like in the plot. Again, another one that I probably should be kicking myself. I'm not going to pick.
Well, and it's brand new, so it's hard to take that leap of faith.
That's why I'm like,
well, the other thing with some of these products too, they're also in like 2 or 3 other bags too.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Alloy, Brevant, or Alloy, Tavo, Stein. There's a lot of similarities.
Well, just for reference, we have 7 1.5s in our plot.
Yeah.
They're all from different brands.
thank you for hinting at where I'm going next.
But that just tells you there's also a lot of yield potential in that early maturity range too.
Well, when you start hearing guys planting 1.2s, 1.4s around here, I mean, that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the NK15 G9s. They look solid. And I just realized I went back-to-back NKs on my picks, but
yeah.
No, I think they look really good. We've got them side by side with a couple other ones that look pretty close, pretty similar, some Me Too's. I'm really excited to see what comes out of this on an early side. But I know Spencer and some of the other guys back home can attest to this, but an early side with some defense to it, but has some high yielding potential to it.
And I think that one's got the high pH play, if I remember right. So
actually,
if we got anybody that listens out west, get west of Northwood over into Alden.
The Z6s are supposed to be really high.
Z6s, and then I'll also throw in, Andy, you can toss this in, but 1830s as well will have that kind of that higher pH play.
Yes.
Right there. He's shaking his head for people that aren't looking.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm kind of going through and
he's like
he's
ranking
who won like
win?
what maturity here. So I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to do next.
He's trying, he's studying.
Predictions.
No, well, you got your count.
Oh, defense. You mean?
Oh, defense. Oh, my defense.
When in doubt, pick the Steelers or the Ravens.
When in doubt, who's ever playing Carolina or the
That's
Giants.
your defense. You just be the rotator.
Whoever's playing the Giants or Carolina. I don't know.
Hey, somebody should have picked Washington's kicker.
They
won and he made every point, whatever his name is. Was it 7 field goals in a game?
What?
They won 21-18
Austin
versus
Seibert?
Giants. Yeah, Seibert.
Yeah, the old Carolina guy, right?
Yep.
How many points did he have?
Quite a few.
25.
Probably 21, unless
more.
there was more for
I'll look here.
how long the kicks were.
Defense, let's go San Francisco.
That's
good pick. Good pick. Sounds good. Andy, have you spent
how's everybody feeling about this?
Let me review here like you did. 110-10 was a ballsy pick. Good high pick. Good.
See if it pays off, Cotton.
Good sleeper pick.
Let's see. Yeah, I can't see how that goes.
I'm actually a little disappointed in myself on the white cob pick. I should have went that way maybe a little bit, but I think that was a very good pick. I think all of our 100-day are like rock solid.
Yeah.
102.28, 101.33, 35, 102.13.
I think
when I was looking at it, the only reason I gave a nod to 101.33, 35 is because I'm more comfortable with it.
It's got a track record.
And so I honestly like that. The 100-day maturity was the hardest for me to pick. Like I was looking at it, I'm like, I have no idea who's going to win that one.
Okay, in my opinion here, Chad's got some pretty good picks. His dog is probably the 16 Z6s, but he's got some pretty good picks with 3790, 101, new 104 with that high yield potential, 110-10 obviously with the yield.
After I heard that, I was like, I knew I should have went the 08R from Brevant because that one looks really good in my plot. But I was
Gifts and nuts, Spencer.
I was trying to keep it, maturity wise for our customers. But
honestly, Spencer, I mean, 3724, 102.28. You mean
You got
I
some
could-
04?
56-26. I mean,
There's
got
a
some
lot of
picks in
high
there.
yield.
22-30s, I think is
Welcome to the guy that's going to pick last place again.
Yep.
maybe for next year we should make the winner pick first. Is that?
I think so, because I clearly can't figure it out.
Well, but honestly, as you're looking at it, I almost think that second and third kind of have the advantage here because you get to do the back-to-back like you get to do, and you get to get.
We're going to have to do like an on-air pick of who does what, and who, like at random. I think it's just going to have to come to at random because there's three of us. And it's not really that big of a deal if I switch with you or whatever. So I think we're just going to have to go with an at random again for next year.
You can slide me $20 and I might give you my pick instead of going back to back.
No, that's
Here
okay.
comes the trades.
The thing is though,
On
there's
the
just
clock.
so many dang numbers.
Yeah.
In that, with only 3 people picking, there's probably like in that 105-day range, there's probably like 7 or 8 numbers we could be picking.
105-day and in your 100-day as
Even
well.
just in those 3
even-
ranges, there's
even
probably
if
about 15 or
take a
20
look at-
numbers.
and you guys talked about it, but you didn't. You take a look at that 97 to 99 day, in there. Those are products like the 98, 99 products you didn't pick because you're going for yield, right? You're going for the points. We're kind of playing the system here, but there's still a lot of good products in there. And to your guys' point, you get into that 105 to 107 range.
Oh, I could have 4 options.
It's ridiculous how many good products there are. So,
because there's you got a couple in that range that like 4652, and like did we pick 06Y?
No,
nobody picked 06Y looks good too.
Nobody picked 06Y.
Plug your ears, but there's an LG 105-day 55C32 Smart Stacks Pro.
Well, or 53C44.
That looks really good in our plots too, and that's that same Smart Stacks Pro style ear. It's a short, blocky ear, but it looks good.
So it's just there's a lot of you're probably right. If we want to add someone else into this, it probably is not a bad idea. But
we're going to need a bigger room. We're going to need more microphones, and we're going to need.
Are you telling me I got to share a table next year?
We're going to need more action.
Only if you win do you get your own table. That's the rule.
If I win, I might actually retire from this. Let some other people try it.
So we're going to get back to that story right now. So about whenever we were getting ready to start going down this route, and Spencer's like, well, I don't know if I want to do it. I've won it twice, and I just don't know if I want to do it or not. And I'm like, how are you gonna feel if I win the dang thing? First thing coming out of your mouth is, well, you won. Of course you won. I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
You can't do 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Well, we had to find somebody, but how that goes. So I kind of goaded them into it a little bit.
It's going to be 1-on-1, and Chad would just win the whole time.
I'll help you out, Brady.
No, we're teaming up.
It's like the chess. I got the thing in my pocket. Don't pick that one. Pick this one. Make your move here. Yeah. I got the secret corner recorder in the pocket or whatever.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But Chad's probably right. Picking the 110-10, we got a bigger geography to deal with now, so we need to be more inclusive to the Southerners.
Look at you!
Oh boy!
Look at you being PC.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at it seems like we're having more conversations with later numbers. More guys are more responsive to look at like 56-65 the last few years. 10 years ago, would you have thought we'd be selling 106-day corn in our area? Maybe to the west.
There was a lot of changing of that too this year too.
Yeah. Oh, we sold a lot of 56-65 this spring.
Yep.
Just because
earlier beans, later corn. That's the trend.
Yeah, that's the trend. I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay.
Anything else?
So who won? Andy?
Yeah.
I'm going to give the slight edge to Chad, actually, looking at it.
You know why?
110-10. Because I think almost all beans will be good this year unless you ended up with white mold.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of other disease out there in beans in our area that seems like it was going to be detrimental.
Honestly, Chad, it is literally what the two that stick out to me is 3790 and 11010, and then the fact that you have 101 and 104 in there.
And that's what I'm looking at, because 104 is kind of a toss up. That 105 is 101. The 100 day is kind of a toss up, but it's hard to argue with 10133, 10408.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think 04J is gonna clean house.
I think that
looks really good.
That looks really good.
I gave you the check mark on the 105 day. I did, but
where'd I get the check mark?
Does he have one on there?
Yeah. Do you have one for Brady?
On the defense. Stupid
Nice.
defense. I knew that was coming.
I kind of quit on that one, unfortunately.
Okay. So let's see here. You quit on this and I was after you? That's sad.
I know.
Who'd you give your check mark on 95? Obviously 3790.
Yep.
101, you picked Chad.
I picked Chad.
The 105 day, you gave it to White Cobber.
Yep.
And then obviously the 110-10.
Spencer or
Chad.
Yep.
And then I gave you the defense.
Okay, then we don't need to hear anybody else because we ended with me. Kicker, where'd you end up?
Spencer. Spencer, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
God, I thought I was going to get maybe the 2020 on that one. Probably a little bit behind that one with that 2-2. That one looks pretty good too.
Any last comments, thoughts?
Combine's rolling.
Any last wagers to put down? Now is your chance.
No, just remember to sign that trophy at the end.
Andy, I need the plot layout for Rudd. I need to find 110-10.
I can show you.
Are you going to drive it?
It's signed. We can drive.
I'm going to drive it. All right, drive it down.
It's signed. We can just walk over there. Oh no, you don't have the.
No, that's
not
replicated.
in the not in the CHD stuff. But
yeah,
he's looking for it though. Okay.
No, I was kidding.
Well, we know if that was a crop failure in Rudd, we know who to blame at that point. We got documentation.
He just takes out the whole 110.
Yeah, just the whole block.
Crop circles. What the heck?
You guys laugh, but we've had that happen where raccoons completely decimate an entire rep of it's either 105 or 115, depending on if it's late or early when they get into it. And I mean, it's crop circles.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's a Brevant number, something R, right? That was a raccoon magnet 1 year.
Is that why I had an R in it?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know.
They were putting their own distinction.
They knew it's going to be a raccoon haven.
I thought it was like a 98R or something like that.
Yeah, it was an early one.
Anyway, ready for the outro, Chad? Did you want to give it? I should ask you if you wanted to give the outro. I can give
it. I just got to get my computer booted back up.
I got you.
Just a second.
Listen to our podcast on our pretty much anywhere where you get your podcast. Apple Music, Amazon Music, your Google stuff. If you can't get it on there, we have a podcast player on our website, nexus.coop/podcast. Follow us and subscribe to us on all of our social media platforms, either Nexus Cooperative or Nexus Co-op, on pretty much anything. We are on Instagram. My personal goal is to boost our Instagram, so I'm not the only one liking it. So let's bump up them Instagram followers. I'm looking at all you guys. Even no Chad over here is probably the biggest user of Instagram.
Yeah, I don't have one. I probably should get one.
Give it the times.
Old bugger.
With that, thank you guys. Thank you for making this an awesome first recorded video fantasy podcast challenge, part 3. Part 4?
Part 4.
This is the 4th year.
This is the 4th year.
I wrongly named it. But okay, thank you guys. Appreciate your time. Like always, we'll see you guys next time.